And we are here, and it's October, and it's scary enough as it is. So I haven't used a spooky motif for any of the features yet. Um, I think they're filming a new Independence Day, and I think the first scene is the aliens hovering over the White House, going, "Wait, have we been here already?" But anyway, let's yeah, I didn't think it was that funny either. Let us continue to celebrate our features. For the month of October. I still have to install another feature for the last week of October, the most Halloweeny week of October. I'll hopefully be able to make an announcement soon.
If you need,
September.
if oh, sorry.
I don't know why Bill is confused about. I don't know why he said September 3rd all of a sudden. He's in my chats, and Bill Lewis and anyone, if he's ever been in your messenger chats, you know you can't do anything until you say to him. But anyway, hopefully he'll be joining us on the call tonight. Elliot G. Boodhan is with us tonight. I met him during the Micro Marvels feature at the Salem Literary Festival. The Micro Marvels is a celebration of the of flash fiction and flash fiction and micro poetry, in particular, Molecule Magazine and 5 Minute Lit. I represented the former. I believe Elliot represented the latter. 5 Minute Lit, if you've never seen it, gives you the opportunity to write a life story in 100 words. Not 100 words or less, 100 words, including the title. So I might actually look for the journal and put in the link in it. But I was very impressed with Elliot, and of course, MP Carver, mutual friend, talked up a storm about Elliot, so I wanted to get him in as soon as possible before the end of the year and possibly the world happens. That's just how I roll these days. And I'll be looking forward to him reading work from his selection. And if he has a PayPal or a Venmo, he can link that. Or if he has a link to his collection, definitely do that as well. I want to grab it. Let's get to the open mic because I've been up for about 15 hours, so I'm just going to babble and not let any of you read if I keep at it. I go now to the poet of Three Rivers, who has to be first because he has uh, he has other engagements.
Thank
Poets
you
with a
so
busy
much.
schedule.
It's
There are things going on. Anyway, sorry. Take it, Richard.
quite all right. I'm going to share screen if that's possible. Here we go. I'm going to request that we share screen. Boom. There we go. Share. Thank you so much. Some of you may have attended the charming and talented event this past weekend, and I'm going to share some scenes from that while I recite this little poem called Upon Observing the Whimsically Costumed Response to the Nude Age Stormtroopers in Potland. So here we go. The human spirit makes no claim, amidst the confusion, shows no twiddling shame to blame, an honest reaction to such uses of fame, no faction, no sideways slippage, said Clyde, who's hiding behind a spent vintage of sorry wine. Yet, maybe savvy, the moments conceal the vacuous veterans and vast vain recruits in their tattered, shattered, disparaged Union suits. Will they replace the trenchant recruits there on display on every corner, full of little or no practical use? Boom. Though you may still yield the freshlet sample, dipped and dappled, fashioned, carrot-tinged apple juice, just there in the confused, trackless uses of the fruity fusion, these fractured distractions appear to fervent factions. Vestiges of vaunted, yet unwanted time. You'll glow your way, I'll glow mine. But upon this bench observe the curves of oh so deepening, creepening, trenchant use, and precisely Mary Michael through the spanner wrench, beseeching billions in the compelling purple rain. Upon this broken crown I'll paint my anti-royalist lament. I do have a spare key. I keep it right here in case, and still encrusted, so inmate it was a place, or leave behind a grotesque taste of an oh so special Albat albeit plastered over grace, thinly silvered in four-setting place. Here we go. The squid, as it says, ice is not nice. And then we find costumed glory all around us. These were some from my local Tennessee friends. Here's one, a little ad that I put together. And then here is a group of people that I attended with. And down here you'll see my crown, the No King's crown. They like crushed ice, defend the Constitution. Clearly, Antifa was out, fully armed and ready for bear. But I will leave you with this, that tribute to friendship eternal. Thank you all very much, and it's been a privilege to share with you.
Thank you, Richard. I've only shared one photo of someone dressed up as a T-Rex at the Boston No Kings. I thought that was a nice upgrade from the frogs. I'm like, yeah, this is how we do it in Beantown. But if anyone's seen of dinosaurs walking around in Portland, please let me know.
Yeah,
I did see some.
I
I
shared
did.
one of the T Rex from behind. It did not look like a T Rex.
Yeah, I don't think these are anatomically or even. I don't think these are accurate T Rexes in any way, shape, or form. I did find magas, but I might be writing about that later this week and sharing some photos. It was quite the experience. We have now. Who did the Remninator pick? I like to pick next. Let's go with Mr. John Wizik.
Okay, so last time we were reading a shoe salesman. Basically, Brock is an ex-special forces guy who now is assistant manager of a shoe store, and it turns out that one of his employees, Bunny Blondie, is missing. Oh no! Elmo the mall cop looked up from a bank of closed-circuit TV monitors as Brock entered. I don't want anything to do with you. It took me an hour to get rid of those guys who wanted to call the cops. One had a busted nose and another had a knife in his leg. I need to examine the security footage from last night, starting at 5:15, Brock said. No, how many times do I have to tell you that customer information is private? Soul Kitchen is not just a business, it's a family. Brock took a seat next to Elmo. I consider you part of my family too. Know what that means? You're eligible for the 10% employee discount. Well, I do need some Air Jordans, Elmo said. What do you want to see? Brock elbowed Elmo aside and reached for the trackball next to a half-empty cup of pumpkin spice latte. He rewound camera 3 to 5:15 to see Bunny exit Soul Kitchen. Brock switched the cameras to camera 7 as she passed positive vibrations and entered Toe the Line. He fast-forwarded until a man whose wardrobe must have come from Liberace's estate sale escorted her out of the store. He followed Bunny and Dimitri as they left the mall. Brock switched cameras and the screen went black. What happened to the external monitors? Brock asked. Down for repair. Brock would have to go high-tech to get to the bottom of this mystery, so he retrieved an encrypted satellite phone from the house he shared with 3 roommates, 70 empty beer cans, and 33 cats. Predator 1 to Groundhog. Do you read me? Roger, Predator 1. Target acquired. He's in the parking lot and entered a red Miata, license plate, lick my toes. Now he's taking the Elmhurst exit. Brock scrolled his GPS display to follow. Target entered I-90 going south. Roger, Predator 1. Target exited on US 20. He's parking at 9732 South Morgan Street. Want me to send a Hellfire missile up his ass? Negative, Predator 1. I'll take it from here. Brock started his Corolla and exited the mall. Brock inserted the electric pick into the lock. It whirred, the red light turned green, and the door clicked open. The air inside smelled of unwashed feet and burning cocaine. He passed a garbage can overflowing with beer bottles and found Dimitri on a couch beneath a Megadeth poster in the living room. Brock noted his rhinestone socks with disgust. Hey, this is a private residence, man. Dmitri set the crack pipe down and glanced at the pistol on the coffee table. Brock hit him in the head with a flying sidekick before he could reach it. The Vibram soles on his size 12 desert boots left Dimitri's face looking like could accompany fried chicken at Royce's Chicken and Waffles. Where's Bunny? He asked. Who? I don't know any Bunny. Wrong answer. Brock garroted Dmitri with a carbon fiber bootlace. I won't let go until you tell me where Bunny is. Dmitri pointed to his neck as his face turned purple. Hey, Dmitri, why's your door open? Two Asian men with elaborate tattoos entered. On seeing his friend in trouble, one drew a Japanese sword and charged. Brock used Dimitri's body to intercept the downward swing. The katana split Dimitri like a piece of string cheese and got stuck at his navel, allowing Brock to snap the blade and dispatch the attacker with a kick to the face. The second pulled a starter cord on a 59.8cc two-stroke chainsaw. It buzzed to life, adding the fragrance of exhaust to that of smelly feet. He grinned while swinging the chainsaw in figure-8 patterns. Brock sighed, drew his pistol, and shot him. Yakuza. Brock holstered his pistol. I hate Yakuza. To be continued.
That's fiction of a different color. That's Mr. John Wezek. Thank you, sir. And let me go next to Miss Jan Rowe, someone else who was also on the Boston Common this past Saturday.
Yeah. And this is from this week's Black Seed Writers at the cathedral there, across from the Common, every Tuesday morning. And these weeklies, they become something like quarterlies. So this week, and I had forgotten I wrote it. Fire. Julian Brave Noise Cat, writer and filmmaker, is alive because the Dutch night watchman reporting for work at the Canadian orphanage after attending a Knights of Columbus meeting. Where the church and state removed Native American children forcibly from their parents. So that Dutch night watchman heard what he thought was a cat mewing. Actually, as Richard Berman would say, in the furnace about to be burned was Julian Brave Noise Cat's father, a newborn small enough to fit into an ice cream carton. Thank you. Whoa.
That guy was on
Thank you so much.
Fresh Air this week, wasn't he?
Ah, yes. Thank you so much, Jan. And up next, I'd like to welcome up. He was here. He was one of the early arrivers here to the open mic. Let's welcome, and first time here, I believe. Let's welcome up John Compton.
Thank you. And sorry I haven't been here sooner. I was telling them, and you might have heard that I have health issues, so I'm mostly like a slug now. But I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm coming to this one. And hopefully I'll be here every week. And you're very helpful with the reminders. And I set my alarm. Anyhow, I want to, how long do we have to read?
I'd say about 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Because I have very short poems.
Yeah,
And
read a
I
few
was
of them.
just curious. And okay, I'll read. I'll shut up now. I like talking. So this one is I've been doing new stuff, and so that I've been doing series poems, and this set is called Study of Figure, and so this is Study of Figure 12. Mother throws herself into the river, drags across the current like a buoy. Blood advances into a weird love story with the water. Mother grows daisies on the bank where she washed up after a dreadful swim. And that's that poem. And this one is Study of Figure 13. I applied the brakes, hydroplane, skid in reverse into a culvert, tipped vertical, and continued into a field. I tilted my head and hugged by my seatbelt. I looked down. The passenger window became a garden bed full of confusion. I touched my husband's face in attempt to persuade the flowers he was hiding in his mouth to bloom. And that's that poem. And I read one more, and then I'll be done. And this one, I don't do many funny poems. All my poems are dark and dreadful, but will be my attempt at funny. It's called Six, and this series is 7 poems, and they're each 7 lines and 7 syllables per line. So that's why it's titled Six. It's 6 poems. I put a well in my bowl, a small piece, a fin. I prop it up to make it scary like a shark. The cereal jumps hastily from the edge. I scoop flakes from the table, giggle. The monster is me. And that's that poem. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for thank you for being on the open mic. Thank you for this being your debut on at the Stone Soup Virtual Podium. And I do hope I see you again on the subject of seeing people again. Here's someone who I haven't seen in a while, but I'm glad he's here. Uh, oh, I thought you were He's named as Aspie, but I know he calls himself Spectrum Chris Robbins, so I'll just say Chris Robbins. And you're muted.
And I'm one. And I don't know what it is with for some reason I had Spectrum Chris put there, but somehow I think I mistakenly dug up an old version of this app because it reverted back to the name I used before. But never mind that. I'm just glad to be back on Zoom. Okay, so. Uh, there we go. That's more like it. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got a couple of poems for you, and the first one I just had I just had workshop this one the other Saturday. It's this one's called Ages Explode. Cities throughout the ages explode into orgies of thick, dark smoke, broken glass, firebombed shelters, and shattered lives. Ages explode into riot upon riot as the angry poor attempt to cast off their oppressors over and over and over again. Nothing can stop these riots, certainly not some moralistic speech about right and wrong being separated by a thin gray line, especially coming from some pampered fool with a thick gray skull, taking cover in some lily white shelter, leaving the angry poor to copy their oppressor's actions, to fire their weapons at paper targets and never see the genuine threat. Watching coverage upon coverage, the oppressor leans back on his the oppressor leans back on his throne and smiles in satisfaction, overjoyed to see the rioters doing his dirty work for him. And my second poem is and as for my second poem, I wrote called "The Beautiful Melancholy." I wrote this one as I was leaving. I was leaving Emerson Hospital uh, on Route 2 early in the morning, around 7 o'clock or so. I had just taken part in a sleep study to get my sleep apnea under control, and it was raining it was raining that morning, and I just even though it was kind of dark and gray, that I still found some beauty in it. And so this one's called "The Beautiful Melancholy." I walked outside one rainy morning. A downpour covered the grass and the park benches. It was a melancholy morning, but it was a beautiful melancholy. The rain drenched me even though my coat and hat. The rain drenched me even through my coat and hat, but it granted me promise that even things that wash away like the proverbial tears in the rain will eventually take a new form elsewhere. Then the universe will say, let's try this again. There we go. And that's my contribution.
Thank you so much, Mr. Spectrum.
You are very
Let's,
welcome.
I'd like to bring up next someone who I don't know if I've seen her before. Maya Geddes. I'm hoping I pronounced that properly.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chad. Um, sure. Okay. I forgot there was reading. I came for Elliot since MP had mentioned he was being featured.
All you
Um,
kids got poems in your iPhones and your Googles
yeah,
and
yeah.
YouTubes. All you
Let
youngins.
me share my screen, or I can just post it in the chat. But how do I? Or I could just read it. Okay. Ode to the Naked Donut Run. There's something really honest and normal about running around naked. Addison Kerwin, 24, Brown Daily Herald. So there's a tradition at my alma mater of people during the finals running around and handing donuts to people during finals and handing them a donut to make their day. So there's something about being handed a donut by a naked person which makes the donut that much sweeter. This is an ode to the naked donut run, the way the frosting slips down the tongue, like the nipples slide past your gaze, the way chewing and nudity become default ways of being, if only for a moment, the way an obscure body becomes that much more poignant in its passing. So that's the oldie poem I need to read tonight. Thank you.
I think I agree. You learn something new every day. And I think I'd like to thank you, John, for the donut emoji. And let's bring up next our resident visual poet from Delaware. Let's welcome up well, he's Robert Fleming, but today I guess he's Robert Doodle Sweet Pickles. He's got to change that to Robert Donuts, I guess. But, sir, take it away.
Thank you, Chad. Tonight we're going to have a reading of a satire of the movie Halloween. And to start, I'm going to share just a few images from the movie. This was the original flyer for the movie. And here is a scene where two of the characters on the left side, the babysitter, is being chased by the babysitter killer. And here is the babysitter killer running with a knife. He was quite an athlete. So now we will go to the text of the play. I'll put that on the screen.
Bringing back the Stone Soup Players.
Yes, we are. So here's
I
the
volunteer to be
text.
Mike Myers.
We already did the casting. Spectrum Chris is going to be Michael, the babysitter killer.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. And Maya is going to be Lori, a teenage girl. And Janet is going to be Lori's mother. Are you there, Janet? Janet, are you there? You have to unmute.
I'm here. I'm here. Okay.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So it's called Michael Returns for Halloween. It's a 5-minute comedy satire based on the 1978 movie Halloween. The setting is a house living room, and the first line is the mother.
Don't go in the coat closet.
Looks at the closet.
It's Halloween.
Mother, something's moving.
Michael was visiting for Halloween.
Ah,
Missed you, lonely dead.
Michael,
Laurie, it's Michael.
watch the thing.
Laurie, come into the closet.
Forbidden Planet.
No knife.
Laurie goes into the closet with Michael.
My costume.
Scary. Boo.
Scream for me.
No, kiss me.
Okay.
Michael and Laurie kiss. Laurie screams.
Ah,
Michael, you have the
Mother,
rest of the
make
line.
popcorn.
You're a big girl. Make your own popcorn.
Laurie leaves the closet, exits stage. Mother walks on stage to Michael in the closet.
How are you, Michael?
Satan makes me eat liver.
Everyone loves you. I love you, Michael.
Michael watches TV. Laurie enters with popcorn, puts it on the table next to her mother.
Michael chased me with a knife.
Oh, Michael likes you.
Michael tried to kill me.
Michael chased you. Boys don't know how to show they like you. Laurie, less judgy.
Yes, Mother.
Who's taking you to prom? Michael will take you.
Michael's dead. Michael can't leave the closet.
With faith, anything can happen. All right, Michael, are you staying for dinner?
Yes, Miss Strode.
Laurie, get a bowl of water and soap and bring it to Michael. Michael, wash your hands before dinner.
Lights out, lights on. Mother walks around the stage and dusts. Michael and Laurie are off stage changing costumes. Lights off. Michael and Laurie enter to center stage. Lights on. Michael is center stage in a closet costume. Laurie is next to Michael wearing tight blue bell-bottom jeans and a red halter top showing a lot of cleavage. Slutty.
What am I?
A babysitter, you kids have fun trick-or-treating. Michael, your mother, only sugar-free candy for you. Michael, promise me.
Yes, Miss Strode. I promise sugar-free candy.
Michael, I want Laurie back by 9 p.m. Promise me.
Yes, Miss Strode. 9 p.m.
Michael, you forgot.
Mother exits and returns with a knife, gives it to Michael.
Thanks, Miss Strode.
I want to take a picture.
Mother picks up a camera, walks to the audience, puts back to the audience, aims camera. Michael and Laurie pose. Laurie takes the knife from Michael. Laurie holds the knife over Michael's head. Lights dim. As lights go out, Michael screams.
Oh.
That's the end. Thank you for doing that
Oh.
one scene from Michael Returns for Halloween. And thank you for our characters who read tonight. Jan as the mother, Mia as Laurie, and Chris as the babysitter killer.
Yeah, very well. Glad to be of help.
This reminds me of a comic strip that's a web comic. called Camp Counselor Jason. It's an alternate history of if Jason lived to be a camp counselor with his mother in the Friday the 13th universe. And he basically is a camp counselor, but he wears a Friday the 13th. He still wears the hockey mask, but he's a good guy. And I can't have this live in my head anymore, not after this reading. So I'm sharing it online. I'm sharing it in the chat if anyone's remotely curious. We have a few more people coming up. I'd like to bring up next Jackie Chow from the West Coast. So glad you could join
Hi,
us.
Chad. Hi, everybody. So I'm gonna read a very short fiction piece, if it's all right. I wrote it in the workshop, the Eastern Shore Writers Association workshop, and we didn't get to share what we wrote. But why am I not? Oh, okay. Hold on. It will take a second. Okay. So this is called the graduation portrait. Iggy Lu Googled the 1993 Arcadia High School yearbook just to revisit her own picture in it. The color pages of the graduating class popped onto the screen. Iggy averted her eyes from the boys and girls with highlights in their stylish hair. There she was amidst all those kids in what was supposed to be the best time of her life. The young Iggy in the photograph extended her neck eagerly, as if she would disappear when the camera flashed. Iggy with crooked black bangs, no makeup, and a white t-shirt with a round neckline. The only reason Iggy searched for traces of that time in her life was an email she recently received in her spam folder from someone named Lee, who claimed to remember her from high school. Iggy did not recall somebody by that name, nor did she think anyone from Arcadia High would feel fondly enough about her to want to get in touch 30 years later. Then the truth surfaced, slowly like a Polaroid picture. She had been fooled again by a scammer who sensed her desperate longing for friendship and love. That's why the letter went to spam. So this is the beginning of a fiction piece or microfiction piece. Thank you.
Thank, thank you, Jackie. We have up next, yes, the comedic stylings of Bill Lewis, who looks like he's behind a horde of bees. Oh no, wait, that's a tree. I need to get the screen resolution improved.
Yes. Oh, good grief. You are so obnoxious, Chadford. Well, I saw all the marches over the weekend. They said 7 million people turned out for rallies. Imagine if those 7 million people had reached out their hand and helped someone. We could have eliminated homelessness. The whole reason Trump got elected was because, the left didn't care about homelessness and crime. And there was our opportunity. We could have made a difference with those rallies, but it's more fun to dress up in a costume and hate on people who are different. Such is life. Oh well. I'm deep in shit, up to my knees. And when I shovel, I cough and wheeze. How much shit can one goat produce if you keep him in a tiny pen and never let him loose? 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot more, it's just all shit, blood and gore. Though the goats are gone, their shits remain. It smells like goat shit when it rains. But I have plans and I have muscles. I shall grow the sprouts of Brussels. So I will sweat and I will carry shit to my plants and I'll be merry. I'll eat this shit, all turned to greens.
in salads, stir fries with roasted beans. So here's to the recycled goat shit dinner. If you eat goat shit, you're a winner.
Thank you, Bill. And I was going to ask if Carolyn W. would like to read. I haven't heard or seen anything from her. Thank you for the emoji, sir. And if not, then I can pass it on to the person who I believe will be our final reader for the open mic contingent of this performance. Okay, I'm not hearing anything from Carolyn.
Sorry, I
Oh,
couldn't figure out how to unmute. I'm not going to contribute anything. I'm also just here for Elliot. Sorry.
awesome. We always recommend the poet bring an entourage, so this is fantastic. Thank you for being here. And we'll bring you to the poet who is out there in the Boston Common, not because it was no King's Saturday, but because he's out there in the Common all the time. And I admired the fact that he didn't let the sometimes potentially volatile mix of people hinder him from talking and saying what he says. Much of what he says in is in the poems he reads for us every week, and they're published in It's All One Thing, which is his weekly poem column in oddballmagazine.com. Check it out every Wednesday morning and consider submitting to Oddball. I will say this, that since I'm mentioning Oddball, the Horathon is still, the submissions for the Horathon are still taking place. And if you're interested in submitting, I'll include the link below. But for now, let's go to Mr. James Van Loy to close us out before the feature.
Thanks, Chad. So I have a poem here called Ancient Regime. And the ancient regime, of course, is the references to the political establishment that was basically put in place under Louis the 14th back in the late 17th century, early 18th century. That eventually, of course, became the regime that was removed by the population that was attempting to rule, kind of like the one we have right now. So, this poem is called Ancient Regime. Rockets' red glare over Route 51. Between the City of Angels and San Diego on the border, they're shooting a big salute to the Secretary of Defense, calls himself Secretary of War, as thousands of thousands parade No King's Day. The so-called president sends out a video of himself wearing a crown, flying a jet his actual bulk would not fit in, to dump shit on the people demonstrating and protesting his impunity as he unleashes occupations first in DC, then in LA, and simultaneously launches missiles on high sea to kill small boats, a thousand uh, uh, a thousand under then any U.S. 1,000 miles from any U.S. shore. Extrajudicial kills like Duarte in Philippines now on trial in the Nederland Hague, while Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu and former War Minister, both charged with genocide, are again killing Palestinians in Gaza, where common front of our elites all across nation leadership, business, government, and media have just clung to their neo-colonial narrative, blaming the mass murdered Palestinians and stubbornly defending the mass bombing of civilians, women and children as self-defense, as we all are watching it all, live streamed, mass murder and torture, and we know who the criminals are and who mock us at their peril. And here's the song to go with it. Shades of night are falling, and I'm lonely, standing on the corner, feeling blue. Sweethearts up for fun, pass me one by one. Guess I'll wind up like I always do, with only me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. Me and my shadow, not a soul to tell my troubles to. And when it's 12 o'clock, we will climb the stairs. We'll never knock, there's no one's there. Just me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue. Me and my shadow, strolling down the avenue.
Love that bit. Thank you so much, Mr. James Van Loy. And we get to the part where I finally get to shut up right after I introduce the poet and let them do their thing. I've been waiting for that almost as much as you have. And a couple of just quick house reminders. I did send the call for submissions for the Oddball Horathon. Thanks to those who submitted. Thanks to Robert Fleming, who almost a year ago volunteered this year's Horathon banner art. We are still looking for people who are willing to contribute art aside from the banner, just to mix things up. And it's not standard Halloween fare. I'm looking for people to basically define modern high horror. Zombies are for wusses. Let's talk about what's going on in the world and figure out how to convey the horror we see every day now. But that's just me. Read the guidelines in the link. Also, if anyone has contact, is if anyone has talked to Ken Nealon and Ken Ingram and Joanna Nealon. Joanna apparently had a fall, is in rehab. So if you want to send thoughts and prayers and maybe give a message to Joanna Nealon, I'm hoping with the live reading, I'm hoping to do sometime in November or maybe early December for Stone Soup, that we can get Joanna to come back. But hopefully she'll be up and about in no time. So that's about it for messages. If anyone has any announcements, you can put them in the chat and I will announce them at the end. But I think I'm ready to read the boilerplate for our feature. And thanks so much to Elliot for their patience, for seeing the entire open mic. This was a fun night. It's been an extra fun night. This fun time for the open mic this month. I hope it keeps going to the end of the year and beyond. Um, Tonight, the feature is Elliot Gray Boodhan. The boilerplate reads as such. A sad philosopher just trying to create something that matters. Elliot Gray Boodhan's poetry is transformative. His work appears in New Words Press, Poet's Choice, and Quia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Elliot's debut chapbook, To Have Survived, is now available from Bottlecap Press. Check out his Instagram, which I will link in the chat below. This is a master of the not just the quick flash fiction, flash nonfiction, flash poetry, but also the flash bio. We almost forgot to clap. I'm going to remind you all to do so now. Thanks so much for Elliot for agreeing to feature for us. And put your hands together now, the rest of you, 30, 40 times, virtually, audibly, or otherwise, or emoji-like, for Elliot.
Thanks for having me and joining y'all this week, Chad. Appreciate it. Also, truly loved everyone's pieces that they shared, especially the Michael Myers satire. That is now my favorite piece of literature. Forgive me because I'm terrible with technology, despite the youth, but I'm going to try to share something. If this will let me. Aha, okay. I find that some of these pieces are best viewed. So the first two pieces I wanted to share are what I call logic poems. I spent about a year and a half coming up with this form. It's based off of traditional philosophical logic, and I modeled it after a lot of the great Greek and Roman philosophers of the time. So bear with me if they're a little confusing to look at. The first one is called Incomplete Logics for Spirit Manifested. Bossus always said, the torment we feel is of our own making, and we tremble when we believe death is near. We should not tremble. And if death is and if the universal endpoint is death, and man is transitory in a negligible space of endless time, then the spirit is man, always a synthesis of the infinite and the finite. If man is wholly invested in the contention, then he falls into despair, a qualification of spirit. Therefore, either man always consumes himself, the very rare exception, or transforms into the vulgar, wallowing in despondence. Therefore, if we always live with purpose, create our own purpose, then in doing so, accept our eventual end. And the second one is a little bit easier to read. But I'm also not going to read all the symbols. An incomplete logic for familial love. I say, plant me, a seedling, prune me, white pine, grow me tall, wide, that I may watch over you. Unamused say, you jest, though the joke squandered. Unburden yourself of my care. I will wilt, wither, my crown succoring and spreading. I am heavy without you, to pluck the imperfections. I, without you, to mold me under your touch, to make me smaller. The overgrowth will weigh, come winter, sheltered by snow, bits of me tumbling down. Spring birds will carry my remains for nesting. A sapling will take my place. I want to bury my birth in her arms. I will leave y'all on a happy note. The person who I wrote this after, his partner is here, so shout out Carolyn. I titled this Cooking in John's Kitchen. Mince the tofu after marinating for an hour. Now chop the potatoes, add cheese. Mix with your hands. Mix, knead, mix, knead. We bring egg wash, breadcrumbs, egg wash, breadcrumbs. Now freeze. Fry in grapeseed oil for 3 minutes. Watch croquettes brown, sizzle and pop. Place each on a paper toweled plate. Try not to botch the next step. Now, wash blueberries upon locating vinegar and sugar. Glee laced on faces with each smash, grind, smash, grind. Slow heat pot to stir blueberry chutney. This recipe may be our best find yet. We had fun eating and gaming that day. I wish for all weekends to be this way. That's it.
Come on, sir. We at least deserve an encore. We at least deserve an encore. Oops, you muted.
I do have a couple more. They're not as happy.
Elliot, will you share one of your 100-word flash fictions for us?
Oh, I can pull that
Or
up.
flash nonfiction.
Will I be able to share screen again is my next question. Can I do that?
I would think you could.
If you believe you'll be able to do it.
Aha, okay. This was the one that I read last month with Chad and everyone else at the Micro Marvels events. In bed together. It is sad. It is about PTSD. I wake up from a nightmare, face glistening with sweat, you beside me, the rise and fall of our hands pressed above your heart, a momentary peace before the dream returns, causes me to dig my nails into your stomach when I try to push him off my chest. The gasp of pain disrupts your sleep. You tell me that it's fine, that I'm safe, that you aren't hurt. I kiss the spot anyway, begging the indentation forgiveness. You reassure me because I meant no harm, but the beating is still fresh in my mind, and I fear becoming like him. Stopping share? Okay. Oh, wait, I do have another happy one. Ha!
Yeah, please.
If I could find the... Oh, did I not put it in the right place? There it is. Okay. Sorry, my table is a mess. I wrote this during COVID with my friend Amanda. Well, not with her, but about her, because we would drive from school back home every day during COVID. Granted, not much school was happening because everyone was online. Amanda leans back in the passenger seat while peeling a tangerine, the waxy skin coating her fingertips in a sweet-smelling stain. She tells me her father used to peel oranges for her as she plops a bit of the tangerine's flesh into my mouth while I drive down I-93. The drive past the harbor and the snacks becoming our ritual, our reclamation of normalcy and socialization in the wake of quarantines. We talk about our parents, the way they grew up knowing food insecurity and governmental injustice. We talk about how they carried us to America before knowing we'd be born, all to provide us with more than what they had across the sea. We talk about how they make to-go bags for our friends and taught us to express our love by cooking. Her, Amanda, meal prepping broth, me roasting Cornish hen I'll never eat. We talk because poverty and food scarcity is a trauma passed along the generations, and we have learned to show our affection through the barest of means, through nourishment from them. Amanda finishes the second tangerine alone. The taste of sugar lingers on my tongue long after I've dropped her home. I do believe that is it for all the happy poems that are in my stack next to me.
Do you at least do you want to end off with one more ambivalent poem? We can handle ambivalence. This is a poetry reading. Come on.
This is true. I'll take Chronically Ill Bean poem. If I can find the start of it somewhere here. If I could find it. Well, I couldn't find that one, but I did find another love poem in my stack. So, love poem. Because we all have to love ourselves. It's actually titled To Love Myself, because we should be our fiercest fiercest hype men or women. To love myself. I am a wallowing, piteous pond, pondering growth of roots, building me upright. Roots, misty breath, seeding language, a bridge to the negotiation of emotion. Think vegetation. Think harvest, seeds, fruit, sugar sweet with. Think love. Think bloom in his arms. Think give smile, give touch, give warmth, touch, touch of breath and mesh. Pour it through, sieve and clean, strain, eat, little to none, and cry. Cry on my shoulder is love and belonging, if at all. Thank you.
Give it up for Elliot G. Boodhan. Round of applause, everyone. That was fantastic. And Bottlecap Press, are there still copies of your book available?
It is print to order, so
Okay.
my order hasn't come in yet, but a lot of other people have gotten theirs. So y'all might be luckier than I am since I put an order in mass.
That's a little, that must sting a little, but well, hey, your readership, the books are going out to the masses. That's fantastic. And I'll put a link to, oh, thank you. I will put a link, I'll share this link with the rest of Facebook tomorrow. Yes, for only $10, 40 pages, illustrated. Are they your illustrations?
Some of them are sketches I did freehand, and then some are sketches I did by copying. Like, I do a lot of photography and then sketch over images instead.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely be grabbing this soon. Thank you very much for sharing your work. This is a nice reprieve from the world. It's and also still showing that you can still recover from the world. That was fantastic, and I appreciate that very much. This would be the part where I would be wrapping things up. We It's been a lot of new friends and old friends tonight, and Ari Whipple came in at the end. I didn't know if Ari would be interested in reading a piece to
No,
send us home.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening tonight.
Well, well, okay, great. All right, heck with you then. No, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad everyone came to for the reading tonight. I feel bad that Richard couldn't make it, but I'm glad we have video of this. I'm glad for the new people who came. For the people who are here for the first time, I hope you keep on coming back. I'll be doing this every Wednesday from 7 to 9 as far as I know. Hopefully making plans for a live gathering, probably not on a Wednesday, but on a weekend. I'm going to be talking to people finally. And glad you're here to join us, and keep joining, keep involved with the Stone Soup Facebook group, and hopefully I'll be more active with my newsletter that comes out through Substack if you want to subscribe to that. And that's all I have. But Elliot, thank you so much, and I can't wait to link the book tomorrow. I can't wait to order it. Fantastic. I a shout out to MP Carver for meeting us, and hopefully hopefully the year 2026 coming up will have me meet and reunite with other poets to bring here. It's um, it's been an experience, but Stone Soup, it's been a year, but Stone Soup keeps me going. So thank you all for being here. Obligatory wave time, and thank you all so much. Hope to see you all here again. It could be like this every week. All we need is you. And if you're not on Facebook and you need instructions for the meetings, you can check out stonesoupoetry.blogspot.com. Look up my name, and you'll be able to find all the links on my website and elsewhere. Thank you guys so much, and have yourselves an excellent evening. I appreciate all of you, and take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else.
Thank you.
Night, night.